The Olkola people are preparing for a handback of some of their traditional lands, and we're here this week on the KimbaPlateau, the headwaters to 5 rivers, and they feel strongly about protecting this area, protecting the natural and cultural values, using contemporary science and traditional knowledge. So they've invited a team of scientists out this week to work with them to understand the baseline condition of this area and use that to manage modern day impacts. We're grateful to the Queensland Government's Environment and Heritage Protections Department and the Indigenous Land and Sea Ranger program, who've provided the funding and enabled us all to come out this week and work together and continue to work with scientists and gather an understanding of this landscape so that Olkola people can move into the future and plan and work on country and manage it the way they'd like to.
Back a couple of years ago, the state bought the property down west, and that was Strathmay Holding and also Crosby Holding. After that, they bought Killarney Station now, and also Dixie and Walpan Block, and that brings it into 800,000 hectares of land. So it's 5 properties together. That's why they call it the Olkola 5 state land dealing now. I'm pretty confident. I think the Olkola people that are involved with the negotiation are confident that this country will be looked after. We sit here as 4 Olkola men, and we're here to help the young people look at our country and see what to be done with it, how it can be looked after with the support and the help of the scientists coming here, the ones that are working with us now for the next couple of days, help us learn the scientific value, which is very important. Our job is to link our knowledge and our traditional knowledge to their scientific values, and there is a pathway in there. There's always been a pathway in between knowledge and science, and if we can link that together, our work have been completed. It's a treat for us to do this, a real treat to sit here and have science people with knowledge of all different areas, different trees, water samples, how to take those, and we look at the landscape as a cultural value, how our people survived and what the country, how the country looked after them. Now today life, scientific come in and see where they join together. It's great. My thanks go right out to them.
It's helping a lot. We don't know what is that tree or that fruit or that animal language name. The old fellows tell us the language name about the trees and animals, water, and it's good working with the scientists, working along beside them, get the different knowledge from the scientists to the old fellows' knowledge, and connecting that together. It'll help me in future to look after the country.
They work really well with scientists this week, and a few years ago at Crosby. They do an excellent job, and the scientists just
learning
the science part, they're teaching them a lot.
The ones that are going to be working on this country for 3 or 4 days are welcome to country. They'll pour water on their hair and put snow, and we have to do that all the time. To all workers that come here, all visitors that come to our country, it's one of our law.
This week we come to look at the plateau, Jungle Creek, then with a survey, get more data, see what's in the plateau. There's a fish scientist, there's a rock scientist, there's a water scientist, and there's a bird scientist, plant, and we got a mammal scientist, putting traps out just to see what's in the area.
We put out box traps and cage traps, which are traps to catch animals but not kill them. We empty the traps in the morning and identify the animals that are in them, and then we release the animals after we've identified them. We might weigh them and measure them as well. What's happened in the last 20 or more years is that the numbers of animals have decreased. The species richness has decreased. The reasons for those mammals disappearing is complex, but a lot of it's to do with introduced cattle, introduced cats, the feral cats, pigs, wild cattle, wild horses, and fire regime changes. And it's destroying the habitat that these native animals need to survive. And so what Olkola and other people are trying to do is reintroduce some of this traditional burning.
I've come out with the Olkola people before, and I think it's important that we keep that relationship going. In the past, we had researchers and scientists come out just for a certain amount of time, come and take knowledge, which benefits them. Then they disappear, and the people on the ground never hear from them again. So it's important that we don't make those mistakes in the past, and we keep those relationships going, and to make sure that knowledge is shared both ways.
Well, it's really a story about the Olkola and what they want their future to be. So we're really here just to support them in helping them understand this landscape. So we're here to help understand the physical parts of the landscape and the biological parts of the landscape. And they've got the knowledge of the cultural parts of the landscape. But beyond that, in terms of what the Olkola seem to be wanting, is to try to figure out how to get and generate some income on this landscape, but income in an economy that's sustainable over the long run. So how to use the landscape but not abuse it, how to keep it healthy. So they're looking at ventures in terms of cultural and ecotourism ventures to bring people out to places like Jungle Creek to go look at the rock art here, and maybe come look at the springs and the fish in the creek here, and just to enjoy this part of the landscape in a healthy, functioning fashion. It's really up to the Olkola people of how they want this place to look like in 10 or 50 years in terms of its health and its connection to their culture.